What if the very thing you've been avoiding, stillness, is the key to everything you want? Think about it. In a world that celebrates noise, rush, and constant motion, we've been conditioned to believe that the louder we are, the more we matter, that the busier we seem, the more successful we'll become. But what if that's all backwards? What if calm isn't weakness, but power, real, unshakable power, the kind that keeps you focused under pressure, clear in chaos, and consistent when everything inside you wants to quit? Most people live on edge. They wake up anxious. They chase deadlines, fight distractions, and burn themselves out pretending to be okay. Their minds are full, but their hearts are tired. They react instead of respond. They speak before they think. They act from emotion, not from vision. And in doing so, they sabotage the very success they're working so hard for. You've felt it. That heaviness in your chest. That racing mind that won't stop. That fear that maybe, just maybe, you're falling behind. But here's the truth. Staying calm in the chaos doesn't slow you down. It sharpens you. Calm isn't doing nothing. Calm is doing everything with purpose, with presence. It's the pause before the leap, the breath before the breakthrough. It's not about removing the noise around you. It's about mastering the noise within you. And once you learn to do that, the game changes. You stop chasing everything and start choosing what actually matters. You stop reacting to pressure and start performing under it. Because calm doesn't make you passive, it makes you precise. When your mind is calm, your decisions improve. Your thoughts clear up. Your energy stops leaking into fear, doubt, and distraction. You begin to think like a leader, move like a winner, show up like someone who knows exactly where they're going. You stop needing the world to be quiet so you can succeed, because you've built quiet inside yourself. That's what makes calm a secret weapon. It's invisible, it's internal. But its impact is undeniable. It lets you hold your ground when others fold. It keeps you focused when others panic. And it turns stress into strength. If you've ever felt like you're drowning in pressure, just know this: you're not broken. You're human. But you don't have to stay stuck in that cycle. There's a way out, a way forward. And it starts with a shift, not in your schedule, not in your goals, but in your state. By choosing calm, you gain control. And with control comes confidence, not the fake kind that needs to prove itself, but the real kind that speaks through action, presence, and quiet strength. So stay with this, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly why calm isn't a luxury, it's a requirement. And more importantly, you'll know how to build it, train it, and use it to finally break through. This isn't just motivation, this is mental transformation. And it starts now. Most people don't lose because they're weak, they lose because they panic. Under pressure, the mind starts racing, the heart pounds, the breath shortens. And before they even realize it, they're not thinking, they're surviving. Fear takes the wheel. And in survival mode, all you can do is react, not wisely, not calmly, just impulsively. That's when mistakes happen. That's when opportunities slip through your fingers. Not because you weren't capable, but because you were too caught in the chaos to see clearly. Your brain is wired to protect you. When it senses threat, it floods your body with stress hormones. It pushes you to fight, to run, or to freeze. It doesn't care about your goals, it only cares about keeping you alive. But the problem is, your brain doesn't always know the difference between real danger and everyday pressure. A harsh email, a failed plan, a delay in progress. It treats it all like a life or death emergency. That's why you feel overwhelmed, even when nothing is actually wrong. Your body's reacting to a story your mind is telling, and that story is often full of fear, doubt, and exaggeration. Now imagine breaking that cycle. Imagine facing the same pressure but with a calm mind. You don't flinch, you don't panic. You see the situation for what it is, not what your fear says it is. That's the edge calm gives you. It keeps your logic online when others are drowning in emotion. It lets you think strategically while everyone else is spiraling. And over time, that becomes your advantage. Because success doesn't go to the most frantic, it goes to the most focused. When you train yourself to stay calm, you're not ignoring the challenge. You're facing it with clarity. You're not running from pressure, you're mastering it. Calm creates space between what happens to you and how you respond. And in that space you gain power. Power to choose better, power to act smarter, power to move forward without destroying your peace. That's not just mental strength, that's emotional intelligence. And it's what separates people who rise from people who stay stuck. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to stop letting fear control the room. Because fear will always show up. But it doesn't need to lead. Let calm lead. Let presence lead. That's when your instincts sharpen. That's when your decisions elevate. That's when you stop feeling like life is happening to you and start realizing that you are the one shaping it. This isn't about pretending to be okay. It's about learning how to be okay, even when things aren't. That skill alone will take you further than talent, luck, or hustle ever could. Because when the world shakes, and the pressure mounts, and the odds feel impossible, calm is the anchor that holds you steady. It's not just a mindset, it's a foundation, and without it, even the strongest plans fall apart. Have you ever noticed how chaos clouds your vision? You can be inches from the answer, but if your mind is racing, you won't see it. You'll overlook what's right in front of you, because when you're stressed, your focus narrows. Your perspective shrinks. You stop thinking long-term. You start making desperate choices just to escape the discomfort of now. But calm restores that vision. It pulls you out of the fog. It expands your awareness. It lets you see the whole picture again. And that clarity, real, grounded clarity, is what separates movement from progress. Most people spend their lives reacting. They move fast, but they don't move well. They chase distractions disguised as opportunities. They say yes to things that drain them. They spend energy trying to control things that don't matter. And they wonder why they're exhausted, discouraged, and stuck. But it's not that they're failing. It's that they're fighting battles that don't even belong to them. Calm clears the noise. It reveals what's actually worth your time. It helps you stop wasting energy on what doesn't move you forward. That's how calm creates momentum. Not by doing more, but by helping you do what matters. Clarity isn't a luxury, it's a requirement. And calm is the only path to it. Because you can't hear your inner voice when you're shouting over it with panic. You can't trust your intuition if you're constantly doubting everything you feel. You can't make powerful decisions if your judgment is buried under anxiety. Calm isn't about removing emotion. It's about not letting emotion lead. It's about being aware of how you feel without being controlled by it. That awareness unlocks choice, and with choice, you regain your power. Success doesn't come from chaos. It comes from consistency. From showing up clear-minded when it counts. From doing the hard things without being emotionally hijacked by fear. Calm gives you that consistency. It doesn't make the path easier. It makes you stronger. It doesn't remove the obstacles. It gives you the state of mind to climb over them. That's what makes calm a weapon. Not a passive retreat from life, but an active way of taking control back from the chaos. The world will always try to rush you. It will tell you to be faster, louder, more aggressive. But you don't need to follow that noise. You don't need to prove yourself through panic. You prove yourself through precision, through discipline, through your ability to keep your mind sharp when others are falling apart. That's not something you're born with. That's something you build. Every breath, every pause, every time you choose not to react, you're building it. And once you've built it, everything changes. You no longer crumble under pressure. You no longer guess. You know. You trust. You act. You lead. Because calm gives you access to a version of yourself that fear has been hiding. And once you meet that version of you, the focused, grounded, unshakable you, you'll never settle for anything less again. Real confidence doesn't rush. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't crave noise or validation. Real confidence walks in calm. It doesn't show up to impress. It shows up to lead. And that's the shift that changes everything. When you no longer need to shout to feel powerful, when you no longer need chaos to feel like you're moving, you begin to access the deepest level of control. Not control over others, not control over outcomes, but control over yourself, and that is the highest form of power there is. Too many people confuse energy with effectiveness. They move fast, talk loud, stay busy. But speed without direction is just noise. Loudness without purpose is just ego. Calm strips all that away. It forces you to find your worth without the performance. It asks a deeper question. Who are you when everything is silent? Can you still trust yourself? Can you still move forward without panic pushing you? That's the test, and the answer defines your strength. The most dangerous person in any room is the one who doesn't need the room to validate them. They've built something on the inside that can't be shaken by what's on the outside. That kind of inner stillness doesn't just happen. It's trained. It's chosen. It's earned through every decision to stay grounded when emotions scream for reaction. Every time you slow down when your fear tells you to rush. Every time you stay composed in the face of pressure. That's when it's built. That's when calm becomes part of who you are. Not just something you practice, but something you embody. Calm makes you trustworthy. It makes you reliable. People feel it. They see it in your eyes, hear it in your voice, sense it in your presence. You become the one others look to when everything's falling apart. Not because you have all the answers, but because you've trained yourself not to crumble when the questions get heavy. That presence, steady, grounded, unshaken, is rare. And in a world that spins fast, That kind of calm becomes magnetic. But more than what it does for others, calm heals you. It quiets the noise that's been running wild in your mind for years. It lets you finally hear yourself again, not the version of you shaped by fear or pressure or past mistakes, the real you, the one who knows what matters, the one who doesn't need to chase every shiny thing just to feel enough, the one who can sit still, breathe deep, and move forward with conviction. You don't need more hype, you need more stillness. Because when the hype fades and the adrenaline wears off, it's calm that carries you. It's calm that keeps you moving with purpose when motivation disappears. It's calm that builds consistency, and consistency that builds greatness. And the more you choose that path, the path of calm, of clarity, of quiet confidence, the more unstoppable you become. Not because you're louder, but because you're anchored. Anchored in truth, anchored in strength, anchored in you. There is nothing more powerful than a mind that can stay steady in the storm. Not because the storm isn't real, but because the mind has learned how to face it without falling apart. Most people wait for the storm to pass before they feel peace. But you were never meant to wait for peace. You were meant to create it, to carry it, to become it. Calm is not something you find outside yourself. It's something you build within. It's not about the world getting easier. It's about you becoming stronger. The most overlooked truth about calm is that it sharpens your thinking. When you slow the chaos inside, your mind becomes a tool, not a trap. Ideas flow easier. Decisions come faster. Doubt loses its grip, because when fear is loud, clarity is almost impossible. But when you quiet the fear, clarity becomes loud. And clarity is what drives every breakthrough. It helps you see what needs to be done without the weight of panic on your shoulders. It helps you act from vision, not from fear. And that shift alone can turn your entire life around. Calm doesn't remove pressure. It gives you power inside pressure. It allows you to be fully present in difficult moments without being crushed by them. You don't shut down. You don't lash out. You breathe. You assess and you move. That kind of strength doesn't just help you survive. It helps you lead. It helps you build. It helps you rise. Because calm creates space. And in that space you gain something most people never touch: control over your inner world. The world will always try to hijack your focus. It will throw urgency at you, try to convince you that everything is life or death, that every second not spent grinding is a second wasted. But here's the truth: if you don't slow down enough to think, you'll spend your entire life reacting. You'll be busy, but not intentional. Active, but not effective. That's why calm is your edge. It's the pause that protects your progress, the stillness that separates signal from noise, the discipline to say, I will not be owned by the chaos around me. Calm is not something reserved for monks or mystics. It is for builders, fighters, creators, leaders, for anyone determined to rise above the noise and do something that matters. It is not weakness. It is not apathy. It is deliberate, focused strength. It is the mental state that allows you to bring your full self to everything you do, without burning out, breaking down, or giving up. And the best part is this: it's already inside you. You don't need to buy it, borrow it, or beg for it. You just need to choose it, every day, every moment, especially when it's hard. Because those are the moments that shape you, that forge your focus, that turn chaos into clarity. And once you master calm, you'll never see pressure the same way again. You'll see it as fuel, as proof that you're ready, as the space where greatness begins. There is no success without pressure. But pressure doesn't break you. Panic does. Pressure is just energy. It's neutral. What it becomes depends on how you meet it. If you meet it with fear, it becomes anxiety. If you meet it with anger, it becomes chaos. But if you meet it with calm, it becomes power. Calm doesn't remove the weight of the moment. It strengthens your ability to carry it. It gives you the balance to move through stress without letting stress move through you. And that's what turns pressure into progress. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they lose control at the exact moment they need it most. They get overwhelmed, they freeze, they self-sabotage. Not because they lack talent, but because they've never been taught how to master their state of mind. They think discipline is about effort, but it's really about energy. If your mind is cluttered, your actions will be sloppy. If your emotions are unchecked, your decisions will be unstable. Calm brings alignment. It turns inner chaos into inner clarity. And from that clarity, discipline is born. When you learn to stay calm, you stop reacting to life and start creating it. You're no longer a product of your environment. You become a force inside it. You stop trying to control everything outside of you, because you've taken ownership of what's inside of you. That shift alone is freedom. Because you can't always control the outcome, but you can always control your presence. And presence, built through calm, becomes your compass in uncertainty. There's nothing weak about staying calm when everything inside you wants to explode. That is strength in its purest form. Calm is not detachment, it's not numbness. It's choosing to feel everything, and still lead yourself forward. It's knowing the pressure is real but deciding not to let it own you. It's facing discomfort with open eyes and steady breath. That's what builds resilience. That's what turns moments of struggle into seasons of growth. When you stay calm, you give yourself the one thing that most people never experience under pressure. Choice. The choice to slow down. The choice to think clearly. The choice to take action that serves your future, not just your feelings. You stop being a prisoner of the moment and become a creator within it. That power can't be taken from you. It can only be ignored or developed. And every time you choose calm over chaos, you're developing it. You're training your mind to rise above emotional noise and into emotional mastery. That's what separates those who last from those who burn out. Not who works harder, not who moves faster, but who stays grounded, who stays focused, who can carry the weight of pressure without collapsing under it. Calm is not the end goal. It's the foundation that every goal is built on. And once it's in place, you stop chasing success with desperation and start building it with intention. Quiet, steady, unshakable. Calm isn't a feeling. It's a decision. A decision to take back ownership of your energy. A decision to not let external chaos rewrite your internal truth. Because the world won't stop testing you. It will throw distraction at you. Criticism, failure, delays, rejection. But none of it can control you unless you hand over the keys. Calm is you refusing to give up those keys. It's you standing your ground, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust yourself to handle whatever comes next. You don't need to fix everything around you to be at peace. That's the trap. That's what keeps people stuck, thinking calm is something they'll finally feel when everything is perfect. But perfection is a myth. Waiting for the storm to pass is just another form of fear. The truth is, the storm teaches you more than comfort ever could. It's in the struggle where you build the habits that shape your future. And if you can learn to stay calm there, you become unshakable everywhere. No one rises by accident. You don't grow through luck or escape. You grow through intention, through pressure, through discipline. But discipline isn't about punishment. It's about preparation. Calm prepares you. It makes you steady. It gives you time to think when most people are just reacting. That space is everything. That space is where your edge is born. You don't need more force. You need more focus. You don't need to be louder. You need to be sharper. Calm gives you that sharpness, not once, not sometimes, but every day, if you choose it. And it is a choice, one that needs to be made in the small moments. When your plans fall apart, when your emotions flare up, when your patience runs thin. These are not random moments. They are invitations. Each one a chance to build the mind you want to carry into the life you say you want. Anyone can be calm when it's easy. Real strength is staying calm when it's not. That's where confidence comes from. That's where mastery begins. You'll never find peace in the outside world until you create it inside yourself. You'll never feel in control of your life if you haven't learned to control your mind. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to be present. And presence only comes when the noise fades, when the doubt quiets, when you stop looking around to start looking within. That's where your strength lives, not in how hard you push, but in how clearly you see, not in how much you do, but in how intentionally you move. Every great transformation starts with a choice to stop being ruled by emotion and start being guided by purpose. Calm is that choice, not once, but over and over until it becomes who you are, until nothing outside of you can shake what's been built inside you. That's not just growth, that's freedom, and it's yours. You weren't born to live in reaction. You were born to respond with intention, to act with clarity, to lead with purpose. But that version of you doesn't show up by default. It shows up through training. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you train your mind to stay sharp when it matters. You rewire the way you think. You strengthen the mental pathways that lead to focus, discipline, and high performance. And the more you train it, the more natural it becomes. Until calm is no longer something you try to find. It's just who you are. It doesn't mean you won't feel pressure. It doesn't mean life suddenly gets easier. It means you stop collapsing under weight that was never meant to crush you. You stop spiraling the moment things don't go as planned. You hold your center. You hold your breath steady. You think before you speak. You act without being triggered. That's not silence. That's control. That's not passivity. That's power. Because when everyone else loses their grip, the one who stays calm becomes the leader. Not because they're louder, but because they're stable. Calm doesn't make you soft. It makes you solid. It makes you reliable when everything around you is unpredictable. It makes you dangerous in the best way, not because you're threatening, but because you're unfazed. Because your mind is not for sale to every problem, every opinion, every emotion. That's a rare kind of strength, one that takes practice, one that takes presence, one that's worth every second of effort. People waste years chasing success but never stop to realize that success isn't just what you achieve, it's how you carry yourself while you achieve it. Do you break every time things get difficult? Do you lash out when you're misunderstood? Do you panic when control slips away? Or do you breathe, assess, and move with strategy? The world rewards those who can stay composed in discomfort, those who don't rush, those who don't fold, those who don't let temporary emotions destroy permanent goals. You don't need a perfect plan to succeed. You need a steady state. You need to be someone who can hold their vision in the face of pressure, who doesn't trade their values for speed, who doesn't make emotional decisions that create permanent consequences. That's what calm protects you from, not just failure, but self-destruction, not just mistakes, but regret. It gives you the edge of longevity, of staying in the game long enough to actually win it. Every time you return to calm, you return to your power. You return to your purpose. You stop fighting everything around you and start building from within you. That's the moment everything begins to shift, not because the world changed, but because you did. You became the person who no longer needs calm to arrive. You bring it with you, and with it, you bring strength, focus, and a future built on something unbreakable. You're not here to survive your circumstances. You're here to master them, to meet chaos with composure, to meet stress with strength, to meet pressure with presence. That kind of mastery doesn't come from talent, it comes from discipline. And discipline begins with your ability to remain calm when everything is pulling you in the opposite direction. Because calm isn't just about stillness, it's about stability. It's about anchoring yourself so deeply in purpose that no situation can shake who you are or what you're building. The mind loves to wander. It loops through fear, it clings to regret, it rushes into anxiety. But calm pulls it back. It says slow down, breathe, focus. You don't need to react to every thought. You don't need to believe every feeling. You don't need to fight every battle. You just need to stay centered. That's where strength is found, not in doing more, but in being more deliberate. Not in speeding up, but in slowing down enough to choose your next move with clarity. There's a voice in you that doesn't yell. It doesn't panic. It doesn't criticize. It speaks quietly, calmly, with confidence. Most people never hear it because they're too busy reacting. But that voice is where your wisdom lives, your intuition, your power, and when you quiet the noise long enough to listen, it will tell you exactly what to do. Not from fear, not from pressure, but from purpose, from truth, from alignment. Every goal you have becomes easier to reach when you approach it from calm. Your execution improves. Your recovery is faster. Your vision becomes sharper. Because when your mind is clear, your actions follow. You stop chasing quick wins and start building lasting progress. You stop doubting yourself and start trusting the process. That's not just mental growth, it's personal evolution. You begin to see that success isn't about the size of your goals, it's about the steadiness of your mindset. Calm isn't a delay, it's a strategy. It's what lets you prepare while others are panicking. It's what allows you to learn when others are escaping. It's what turns obstacles into feedback and fear into fuel. You become the person who doesn't fold under pressure, not because pressure disappears, but because you've trained your response. You've chosen strength over speed, depth over noise, presence over reaction, and the more you choose it, the more natural it becomes. Until calm isn't just something you return to, it becomes the ground you stand on, the way you think, the way you lead, the way you live. And once that shift happens, nothing outside of you can ever own what you've built inside of you. This is what real growth looks like, not louder, not faster, but deeper, quieter, sharper, and more intentional than ever before. Calm isn't just the path, it's the power behind every step. Keep building it, keep choosing it, because the future belongs to those who can lead themselves first, and calm is how you begin. Control over your mind is control over your destiny. When you learn to calm your thoughts, you take the first step toward mastering your life. Without calm, the noise inside becomes a prison. It traps you in cycles of doubt, fear, and confusion. But calm unlocks freedom. It clears the fog. It sharpens your focus so you can see what truly matters. And when you see clearly, you act decisively. Acting decisively moves you forward, not just in small ways, but in ways that shape your entire future. Your brain is wired to protect you. When chaos erupts, it triggers fight or flight. That reaction was meant to keep you safe. But in today's world, where challenges are often complex and long-lasting, that instinct can hold you back. Calm rewires that response. It teaches your brain that not every threat requires panic. It rewires your nervous system to respond with clarity instead of confusion, with strategy instead of stress. That rewiring is the foundation of success, because when your mind is calm, your actions are intentional, your choices are clear, your power is undeniable. Think about the moments when you felt truly overwhelmed. Notice how your mind spirals. You lose perspective, you make mistakes, you feel stuck. Now imagine if in that exact moment, you could pause and take control. Imagine if you could slow your breath and steady your thoughts. Imagine responding with calm confidence instead of frantic worry. That moment of calm is a turning point. It's the difference between breaking down and breaking through, between giving up and pushing forward, between regret and pride. Calm isn't about avoiding emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about learning how to sit with discomfort without losing yourself. It's about becoming strong enough to feel fear and still act with courage. When you do this, you no longer let emotions run your life. Instead, you let your purpose lead the way. You don't react to every problem. You respond with clarity. You don't get swept away by every challenge. You stand firm in your vision. Your greatest power lies in this ability to stay steady. Calm gives you the space to think critically, to weigh options carefully, and to act deliberately. It creates a mental environment where creativity thrives, where solutions emerge, and where your true potential can be unlocked. Without calm, the mind is a battlefield. With calm, the mind becomes a sanctuary, a place where greatness is born. This is the secret that many never discover, that success is not just about working harder or faster. It's about working smarter, about working from a place of calm strength, about leading yourself with grace when the pressure is highest. When you embrace calm as your foundation, everything else falls into place. Your energy aligns, your vision clears, your path unfolds, the choice is yours. Will you let chaos rule your mind and steal your future? Or will you take control, choose calm, and become unstoppable? The power is inside you. The moment to claim it is now. Keep calm, keep focused, keep moving forward. Your success depends on it. Your mind is the battlefield where every victory or defeat begins. When chaos invades, it's easy to lose control, to fall into reaction and confusion. But true power comes from mastering your inner world first. Calm is the weapon that allows you to win these battles before they even start. It's the shield that protects your clarity, your focus, your strength. Without calm, your mind becomes a storm that tears apart your confidence and clouds your judgment. With calm, it becomes a fortress, unbreakable, unshakable, and deeply grounded. Imagine what it would feel like to approach every challenge with steady breath and clear eyes, to move through fear without freezing, to act with intention instead of impulse. That feeling isn't reserved for a select few. It's something you can build inside yourself, moment by moment, choice by choice. Calm is not a passive state. It's the most active form of control you can have over your life. It demands effort, awareness, and discipline, but its rewards are endless. When your mind is calm, your body follows, your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, your thoughts untangle. This physiological response changes everything. It lowers stress hormones, allowing your brain to function at its peak. You're no longer reacting from survival mode, you're responding from a place of power. This is the mental edge that separates those who simply endure from those who thrive, those who survive from those who succeed. You must understand this. Success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about managing your inner state better than anyone else. The person who controls their emotions under pressure controls the outcome. The person who remains calm when faced with uncertainty commands respect, influence, and opportunity. Calm is your invisible strength, your secret weapon in a noisy world. It's what allows you to keep moving forward when others stop. Every moment of calm you create is a step away from fear and towards freedom. It is a reclaiming of your power, your vision, your future. You are not your circumstances. You are the master of your response. You have the ability to choose calm over chaos, control over confusion, action over hesitation. That choice builds momentum. It builds confidence. It builds an unbreakable foundation for success. The path ahead will not always be easy. You will face setbacks, doubts, and pressure. But the person who walks that path with calmness is the person who never loses their way. Calm is not about avoiding storms. It's about becoming the calm at the center of the storm. It's about being the steady force that moves with intention, regardless of the chaos around you. That is the mindset that leads to lasting success. If you commit to cultivating calm, you commit to mastering yourself, to rising above noise, distraction, and fear, to creating a life defined not by reaction but by deliberate action. The power to do this is already within you. All you must do is choose it, every day, in every moment. Because when you keep calm, you keep control. And when you keep control, success becomes inevitable. Every thought you allow to settle in your mind shapes your reality. When your thoughts race in chaos, your actions become scattered, your energy dissipates, and your progress slows. But when you cultivate calm, you create a mental space where clarity can grow. In that space, decisions become sharper, focus becomes unwavering, and resilience becomes unbreakable. Calm is not a retreat from action. It is the fuel behind the most powerful, effective action you will ever take. It allows you to harness your energy, channel your will, and move with unstoppable purpose. Your emotions are not your enemies. They are signals, guides that tell you where to pay attention. But without calm, those signals become overwhelming noise. Calm teaches you to listen without losing yourself, to feel deeply without being controlled, to observe your emotions without reacting impulsively. This skill is more valuable than any technique, more powerful than any strategy. It rewires your brain to operate from a place of strength instead of stress, from confidence instead of confusion, from mastery instead of fear. You have the capacity to build this calm. It starts with awareness, recognizing when your mind is spiraling, when your body is tense, when your thoughts are hijacked by doubt. Awareness is the first step toward control. It allows you to pause, breathe, and reset. When you reset, you regain your center. You reclaim your power. This is the foundation of true leadership, leading yourself before leading anything or anyone else. When you master calm, you become the leader of your own life, the architect of your own destiny. The world will continue to throw challenges your way. The pressure will rise, the stakes will grow. But if you remain calm, you transform challenges into opportunities, pressure into progress, failure into feedback. Calm does not erase difficulty, but it changes your relationship to it. It gives you the strength to face discomfort without losing direction, to persevere without giving in to despair, to rise above the noise and focus on what truly matters. This shift in perspective is the difference between surviving and thriving. Success is not a sprint fueled by frantic energy. It is a marathon sustained by steady, deliberate effort. Calm is the rhythm that keeps you moving forward when others burn out. It protects you from the exhaustion of emotional turmoil. It allows you to maintain your vision when distractions scream for your attention. Without calm, your dreams become vulnerable to every passing fear and frustration. With calm, they become rooted in unshakable confidence. You owe it to yourself to prioritize calm as a daily practice, not as a luxury, but as a necessity, not as an option, but as a foundation. Every moment you invest in calming your mind, you are building a fortress around your goals. You are creating a legacy of strength, resilience, and wisdom. The person you become in that calm space is the person the world will rely on, the person capable of achieving what others deem impossible. This is your power. This is your gift. The choice to keep calm is the choice to keep control. The choice to build success not on chaos but on clarity. Embrace that choice. Own it. Live it. Because calm is not just a state of mind, it is the path to the life you were meant to lead. Calm is not a passive surrender. It is an active choice to rise above the chaos within and around you. When the world moves fast and unpredictably, your power lies in the space you create between stimulus and response. That space, no matter how brief, is where transformation happens. It's where you decide not to be a victim of circumstances but a master of your reactions. This moment, this pause, is where calm becomes your greatest ally in the pursuit of success. You may feel surrounded by noise, pressure, and relentless demands. Your mind may race with worries about the future or regrets from the past. But the truth is, you always have access to calm. It is a resource within you, waiting to be tapped. It doesn't require external conditions to appear. Calm is not found in perfect situations. It is forged in the storm. Each time you choose calm in the face of adversity, you strengthen that internal resource. You build resilience. You build momentum. You build the foundation for lasting achievement. This practice rewires your brain. The more you cultivate calm, the more your nervous system learns to settle quickly. Your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, and your mental clarity sharpens. These physiological shifts are powerful because they improve your ability to think clearly, make better decisions, and take intentional action. Calmness isn't just a feeling, it's a biological advantage. It gives you an edge over those who let stress control their choices, who react impulsively or freeze under pressure. Calm allows you to navigate complexity with grace and purpose. It's important to remember that calm is a skill, not a trait. You are not born with it, you develop it through practice. Every time you resist the urge to panic, every time you breathe through discomfort, every time you anchor yourself in the present moment, you are strengthening that skill. It becomes a habit, a muscle that grows stronger with use. This habit shapes how you show up in the world. It shapes how you handle setbacks, how you pursue goals, how you influence others, and how you lead your life. Success does not reward those who react recklessly or live on the edge of anxiety. It rewards those who can maintain their composure, who can listen deeply to their intuition, and who can move with steady confidence. The ability to stay calm under pressure is the hallmark of leadership and excellence. It separates those who achieve fleeting wins from those who create lasting impact. When you learn to keep calm, you stop wasting energy on chaos and start investing it in progress. This moment is your opportunity to commit to calm, not as a distant ideal, but as a practical tool for transformation. When you choose calm, you choose control over your mind and your life. You choose clarity over confusion. You choose strength over surrender. Calm is not a destination, it's the path you walk every day. The power to transform your future lies in your ability to cultivate calm now, in this moment, and every moment after. Choose it, own it, live it fully. When you think about success, do you see it as a distant goal, a mountain too high to climb, or a battlefield of endless struggles? What if the real battle isn't outside, but inside your own mind? What if the difference between those who reach their dreams and those who don't lies not in resources or luck, but in the ability to maintain calm amidst chaos? Calm is the silent force that powers transformation. It is the steady hand on the wheel when the storm rages. It is the clarity that cuts through doubt and fear. And it is available to you, right now. The ability to keep calm shapes your reality in ways you may not yet fully grasp. When your mind is calm, you gain access to deeper levels of focus. Distractions fade away, and your energy aligns with your purpose. Your thoughts become tools, not enemies. This is where creativity is born. Inside the quiet space where your mind is free from the noise of anxiety and confusion. That creative clarity leads to innovative solutions, powerful decisions, and relentless forward motion. Without calm, your mind is scattered, your energy wasted, and your potential limited. It is no accident that calm and success walk hand in hand. Your nervous system is designed to function best when it is balanced. Stress, fear, and overwhelm throw your body into survival mode, narrowing your vision and clouding your judgment. But calm activates your parasympathetic system, the part of your brain responsible for rest, recovery, and optimal thinking. This state allows you to make better choices, remain resilient in the face of setbacks, and sustain your drive over the long haul. The path to success is not a sprint fueled by frantic energy. It is a marathon run with steady breath and unwavering resolve. Every choice you make to cultivate calm is a step toward mastery over your inner world. It starts with awareness, the ability to notice when tension rises, when thoughts spiral, when your body tightens. This awareness is your power. It gives you the space to breathe, to reset, to recenter. In that space, you reclaim control. You no longer react from impulse or panic, but respond with intention and wisdom. This control is the foundation of confidence, the bedrock of courage, and the root of unstoppable momentum. You may have been told that success requires hustle, speed, and non-stop effort. But true success demands something more: presence. The presence that comes from calm allows you to engage fully with every moment, every challenge, every opportunity. It lets you see clearly, act decisively, and lead yourself with integrity. Calm is the lens that sharpens your vision, the anchor that holds you steady, and the fuel that powers sustainable achievement. It is not weakness to seek calm. It is strength. Strength to face the unknown. Strength to endure hardship. Strength to rise each time you fall. When you choose calm, you choose to live from your highest self. You choose to turn pressure into progress and fear into fuel. This choice transforms not just your mindset, but your life. The power to succeed lies within your ability to keep calm, to steady your mind, and to take control of your journey. This is your moment. Embrace calm. Embrace your power. Embrace success. Calm is the foundation upon which your greatest strengths are built. When your mind is still, your true power surfaces, untouched by fear, doubt, or distraction. This stillness allows you to access a deeper part of yourself, one that is grounded in purpose and clarity. In this space, you are free to choose your next move with precision and confidence. It is here that transformation begins, not from outside forces, but from the quiet mastery of your inner world. You hold the key to unlocking your full potential, and it starts with the simple yet profound act of staying calm. Every challenge you face is an invitation to practice this calm. Life will test you relentlessly, but your response is what defines you. When panic rises, remember that calm is within reach. It is not a faraway ideal or a rare gift reserved for the fortunate. Calm is a skill you cultivate through intention and effort. Each moment you choose to breathe deeply, to steady your thoughts, to return to the present, you are strengthening this skill. This is how resilience is forged, through consistent practice of stillness amid chaos. Your brain thrives on calmness because it creates the conditions for optimal functioning. Stress narrows your perspective and traps you in a cycle of reaction. Calm widens your view and frees you to act with awareness. This neurological reality means that the way you handle stress directly impacts your ability to succeed. The more you practice calm, the more your mind becomes a powerful tool rather than a battlefield. You become the conductor of your thoughts, not their prisoner. Calmness also nurtures emotional intelligence. When you are calm, you can observe your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This emotional clarity allows you to respond rather than react. You develop empathy for yourself and others, improving relationships that are crucial for your growth and success. Calmness transforms emotional turmoil into emotional wisdom, providing a steady anchor in moments of uncertainty. This inner peace fuels confidence. Confidence born of calm is different from arrogance or blind optimism. It is a quiet assurance rooted in self-awareness and control. This confidence allows you to take risks, face setbacks, and pursue your goals relentlessly. It creates a magnetic presence that draws opportunities and support. When you carry calm within, you carry a powerful force that moves mountains and inspires others. Your commitment to cultivating calm is an investment in your future. It shapes how you respond to challenges, how you seize opportunities, and how you build your legacy. Calmness is the soil where determination grows, where focus sharpens, and where success takes root. By choosing calm today, you are creating a life defined by mastery over fear and clarity in action. Remember, calm is not a destination but a continuous practice. Each breath, each pause, each moment of stillness strengthens your ability to navigate life's storms. Your future is shaped by your inner state. Keep calm, stay steady, move forward with unwavering resolve. Success is not a distant dream. It is the natural outcome of a mind at peace. True strength is revealed in your ability to remain calm when everything inside you screams otherwise. It is in those moments of inner stillness that your true character is forged. Calm is not the absence of difficulty. It is the presence of control over how you meet that difficulty. When you choose calm, you reject the temptation to be swept away by fear, anger, or frustration. Instead, you become the captain of your mind, navigating turbulent waters with clarity and purpose. This mastery over your inner state is the cornerstone of lasting success. The way you respond to pressure defines the quality of your life and the trajectory of your dreams. Pressure is inevitable, but panic is optional. Calm gives you the power to transform pressure into progress. It shifts your mindset from one of scarcity and fear to one of abundance and possibility. You begin to see obstacles not as threats but as challenges to be solved. This perspective change is profound because it ignites creativity and courage. When calm leads your thoughts, you find solutions where others see dead ends. You unlock the ability to take decisive action even when the outcome is uncertain. Calmness also nurtures patience, an essential yet often overlooked ingredient in the recipe for success. The world today glorifies speed and instant results, but true achievement requires endurance. Calm teaches you to slow down, to breathe through discomfort, and to trust the process. It grounds you in the present moment, allowing you to persist without becoming overwhelmed or burned out. Patience born of calm empowers you to keep moving forward, step by step, even when progress seems invisible. This steady persistence is what separates fleeting wins from deep, meaningful success. Your nervous system thrives on calm because it promotes balance. When you are calm, your brain operates at its peak. Problem-solving becomes sharper, creativity flows freely, and emotional resilience strengthens. This biological advantage enhances your ability to perform under pressure, making you more effective and efficient.